gentlemen, making their way to the ring, they are the undisputed tag team podcasting heavyweight champions of the world, Phantom and Soul, the Rasslin Bros Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to Wrestling Bros Podcast. Give me 1 minute. I'm trying to get Phantom in the studio. Hang with me here. Hold on. Oh, how do I add you? It won't let me add you. Add to stage. There we go. Sorry about that. What up, Phantom?
What's up, brother Soul? Welcome everybody to Wrestling Bros. I heard Soul already make the introduction. Soul, what's going on? Ladies and gentlemen, SummerSlam. We got a lot to get to. Soul, I don't know how you feel about it, but there's some parts of SummerSlam, brother, that gave me a couple goosebumps. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even gonna bullshit you. There are some parts that gave me some grown man goosebumps, and I was happy as hell to see it. We'll get there. Oh man, we got a 2-night card. I know you just got finished watching the final main event. We're gonna get to that. I guess we're gonna go. You want to go night one? We're gonna go a little bit of night one, night two. We're gonna blend it a little bit together. Where I want to start off tonight. We did this once before, but it's officially official now, and we're not gonna talk about the match. We're just gonna talk about the man, the wrestler, the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. The man hung up his boots tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Shit, what do I say about Brock Lesnar? For those who thought he was a big dumb oaf, very smart wrestling mind, one of the baddest motherfuckers that ever walked the planet Earth. Wrestling, UFC, tried the NFL. What's your thoughts on Brock Lesnar? So,
One of the greatest athletes I've ever seen overall. I mean, collegiate wrestler, he was a champion. He was an excellent WWE wrestler. A lot more technical in his early days. He started off at, OVW with Jim Cornette, and he got trained up and he had an incredible first half of his career. That shooting star press he used to do off the top rope was just incredible. He botched it in Seattle when I was took my son to see WrestleMania when it was here in Seattle, and he botched it. The only time he ever botched it. But that wasn't his fault. Kurt Angle was just too far away. But anyway, he was an incredible, gifted athlete. Tried out for the Minnesota Vikings. He didn't quite make the cut, but he went on to have a good UFC career, and he came back to WWE, and he switched up his style. He became more of a 2-3 move wrestler, but he was still just as dominant. He had a great advocate in Paul Heyman throughout his first and his second half of his career. Not my favorite human being in the world outside of wrestling, but I can't deny his wrestling ability. You know what I'm saying? He was fun to watch. He drew money, put asses in seats, and what a way to go out in his own hometown, Minnesota. And Yeah. So salute to Brock Lesnar. Um, yeah, not much else I could say but that. Salute.
Got you there, brother. We got you there. Let's kick this thing off because
Hey,
night two had a
wait a minute,
lot.
real quick. I just want to wish you a happy belated birthday, bro. I know it's your birthday, and Christopher Green was asking, did you enjoy your birthday? So let's get in. Give me a little bit of that before we get into this. How was your birthday, bro?
Man, my brother, it was good. It's what I call the old man birthday. Every day is above ground is great. So
Yeah.
it was that, and I just did shit old people do. Go eat and relax and watch a little wrestling, play the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
Safest thing I could possibly do, the simplest. Green,
Yeah.
what's going on, my brother? Thank you for the birthday wishes.
Facts.
With that being said, we're gonna jump off. We're gonna jump off with the ladies. And night one match was Liv Morgan and EO Sky. I
Mm.
said this to you. I'm gonna say this on this podcast. Fight with me if you want to. Come see me if you want to. EO Sky, best female wrestler out there. Argue with whoever you want to argue with. Don't argue with me because you don't want this fight.
I can
Uh,
agree with that for sure.
the
Her and
match.
Stephanie Vicaire are very, very, very good wrestlers. Their match that they had together was incredible. So I have much respect for EO Sky.
Now, this match between her and Liv Morgan, I know what you wanted to happen, but it didn't. And EO and Liv put on a pretty damn good match. There is a scene, there is a sequence in that match. I don't know if you how much of it you saw, but I was watching it. EO goes off the far ropes and she just slides through that damn middle rope, grabs Liv Morgan in perfect position, German suplex right on the side of the apron. I was like, that's EO.
Yeah.
That's EO. And
Yeah.
that's her chemistry with Liv Morgan. But Liv Morgan did win the match, did retain the women's world heavyweight championship. Damn, that part I didn't like.
And this has nothing to do with Liv Morgan as a talent or whatever. The only thing I was so mad about is that she had zero title defenses in over 100 days, and then she gets beat by one of the best female wrestlers in the business in Io Sky. Io Sky challenges her, and then Liv wins, and I was just like, I rolled my eyes at that. I personally thought it could have been a better match, and it wasn't Io's fault. And I wouldn't even say it was necessarily Morgan. It was her fault. It was
The bill was terrible.
I just felt the build was really bad, and the timing of the match was just lackluster. The crowd on night one, I'm sorry, they were dead, man. The arena was half full. I saw on WrestleTix.com that you know how usually WWE announces their attendance. If you notice, they didn't do that this time because they didn't have a sellout in either night. And there was a lot of tickets left to be sold. And so the build for this, the booking, just everything was just off. And, you know, I really think this has to do with TKO's influence. TKO's
Exactly where
just
I was
been
going.
really putting their hand in the middle of this. And the product is just, I'm sorry, the product isn't any good. I watched Raw for 2 weeks and I fell asleep. SmackDown, I saw parts of it. You know, I don't have cable, so I don't watch the full of SmackDown. But yeah, just I don't know what else to say. But anyway, the crowd was not there. You could see portions of the hard cam side that were tarped off, and people are going to say, "Oh, they always tarp off the hard cam side." Not on big events like this. They usually don't. Not with WWE. That's why they have a 2 night thing because they're trying to sell that arena out, and they didn't. And so the crowd was just really light. For the first half. I think the Oba match they kind of woke up, and maybe CM Punk and Cody they woke up a little bit, but yeah, I was just disappointed. So yeah, I gave it like a C minus as a grade, but I agree with you about EO. She's an incredible wrestler. She's incredible. I really like her a lot.
She language barrier notwithstanding, and she's like, it's hard not to like her. I would, if I met the person, it'd be one of those weird things where you kind of starstruck a little bit because you just see a person that's not very tall, that's full of life, seems to be very
Hmm.
respectful, very nice, but in ring, man, please, you could put EO with anybody,
Yeah.
and it works itself out. It would, to your major point, that's a TKO thing. I think the build, the 100-day reign, because the live events have cut down so much. And a lot of that is also, they want the stars, they want the people that, they want certain people. I mean, unfortunately, this is to EO's detriment,
Yeah.
that's the EO's detriment as far as, the speaking and everything like that. I think that's, I mean, shit, all else fails, give her a fucking interpreter. God damn it. Just
Or a
go
manager.
see, give her a manager, something to go
Yeah.
talk, because you're missing out on somebody that's very, very good at what they do.
Yeah.
Very good at what they do.
Yeah. And
And
Green,
it's just
we're gonna get
we're gonna
into
get
that.
there.
What you said, he said, I'm glad Randy came back. He kind of
We
buried the lead there, but we'll get into that when we get to that match. But anyway, sorry about that. I
right.
was just
Yeah, I saw Green. Calm down, Bubba. We getting there. Don't worry. Don't worry, Green. We getting there. If you can't hear it, trust me, we're getting there. But we got to get some, we got to get some other folks in the bill. So, this match right here next is the 6-man tag. Now, this is my feeling. 6-man tag is next. Solo, LA Knight, Royce Keys versus the Usos and Jacob Fatu. I know I have an idea how you feel about this match. I have a hell of an idea that you've been
I fell
you've been
asleep.
you've been
I'm not
about
gonna
this.
lie, I fell asleep during the match. The only part I
It
caught is I briefly caught when Solo ran it back and did the yeet stuff. That was pretty cool. And I saw the crowd was really getting behind him, but I just couldn't. That match bored me to tears, bro.
Solo doing what he did doing in that match, him and LA Knight having a little bit of friction in that match. Kind of stole it in that way. The match, went as planned. Royce Keys, his first real major pay-per-view storyline. It's gonna take some time. He's a
Yeah.
big physical guy, but the promos are gonna have to be the promos. If you're gonna be Big Bruiser, he can do that. But he also is a little bit stiff. But LA Knights team won. If you didn't notice the end of that match, if you caught it, Solo LA Knight looks at Solo like, what? Like the good side of Solo is starting to be annoying. Solo has got a comedy line he's walking right now. A comedy
Mhm.
good guy line he's walking, but he's also walking that fine Sami Zayn line of being annoying.
Mm.
He's walking it. You can
Crowd seems
tell.
crowd seems to really be behind him, though.
Yeah. He's doing it his own personality in his own way. But that
Yeah.
match kind of was just a filler match to me. So I'm not gonna really belabor this match any longer just because the way it was and nothing really came out of it. The only thing I was hoping would have come out of that match, honestly, and that was a Zilla Fatu appearance, maybe.
Yeah.
But we didn't get that, so it was nah. Now we're gonna get to the match where the crowd kind of woke up
But they did
to.
hug. LA Knight and Solo did hug afterwards. That was cool.
Yep. Now the next one we're gonna get to is the crowd woke up for this one, and we both were intrigued by this match. and I was hoping they showed him some love. Gunther versus Nick Aldis.
Woo! That was one of my favorite matches of the night, bro. Like seeing Nick Aldis come back out wrestle, I was like, and he looked amazing. He looked great. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Man, that was a good match.
Everything for him coming out to Oasis, the crowd woke up for him.
Yeah.
But to give a Big E reference, big meaty men slapping meat, that's what the fuck I expected, and that's what the fuck I got.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. Seeing Mickey James there and his kids and him coming out to Oasis, and they finally referenced his TNA championships. They didn't really say much about that, but they did mention it.
They did, but Gunther did it for him.
Yeah.
Gunther did it for him, which is good. I'm glad Gunther did it for him because I think, what I'm saying, if you're not going to do the whole tribute video. I think Billy Corgan would have signed off to some of that NWA footage. I really think he would have if they had took it that far.
They probably didn't want to pay for it though.
Probably. But Nick Aldis looked good. I was hoping it wasn't just a one-off, and maybe it won't be, maybe it'll be sporadic, but he showed himself very well. I mean, Gunther should not have won that match, even though Gunther should have won that match. I would have loved to see that go a different way, see Nick Aldis win that match. But Nick Aldis also is very old school in the way of he's not going to step on younger talents.
Yeah.
Younger talents for himself. But
also as an old school wrestler, usually the way things are worked is if this is truly his last match, they usually go out looking up at the lights. Their last match is usually at an L. On a rare occasion, it's a win, but usually when a wrestler is retiring, that's that's it. They're not going out on top. So I don't know. It's what I expected. I expected Gunther to win. I wanted Aldis to win just personally. I thought, I was happy he was wrestling, but I kind of knew how it was going to be. So.
Yeah, but I was happy for him. Like I said, the match had a good, a slower kind of pace to it. Gunther, if you haven't noticed yet, and I like this about Gunther, even before he was, went from Walter to Gunther, we looked at Gunther. For most people references right now, Gunther is probably the best heel in wrestling. One of the best heel. He is the best heel in WWE. I don't think we argue in that point. I think he's the best heel. But he just reminds you of that smug asshole. And he just happens to be from Austria. That smug asshole that you just want to punch in the fucking face a little bit, but you're in for a hell of a goddamn fight.
Oh man, that was crazy.
You're in for a hell of a fight if you do. Like, all right, motherfucker, I might be, this might be wrestling, but he might be able to throw a few hands on you. But Gunther's been showing a little more of that personality, that asshole nose up personality, and I like that about him. He's starting to. You know who he's starting to remind me of in the personality is?
Who?
Tell me if you agree with this. Old Lord Steven Regal.
Yeah. Yeah, William Regal, back when he was Lord Steven Regal, yeah.
Oh, William Regal, we had that nose up and his face turned to the side, the snob look on his face and shit.
Yeah.
But William Regal go in that ring and whoop ass in that ring, and he wasn't a bad goddamn, and he wasn't a goddamn pussy on the outside of the ring either, but
no.
He wasn't no pushover outside of the ring by no means by stories. He might have been a little bit of a drunk, but
but he was tough.
He's a tough bastard.
Tough as nails, yeah, man.
But that's who Gunther's starting to remind me of.
Gunther reminds me of like the old school, like super old school 50s where they have the evil German, the evil Russian, the evil Iranian heel, nasty heel comes in. He's a monster heel and just beats the tar out of you. Not he he understands the psychology of wrestling. He's a great wrestler, but he's not like a Kurt Angle technical wrestler because he's just a big, brutish heel. And, you know, he'll give you them knife edge chops and wear you down with that elbow to the shoulder, and then put that sleeper hold on you, and that's it. Once that sleeper hold, you get out of it, and he puts it back on you, is done. I was like, so that's kind of where what I think about Gunther. He just reminds me of one of them old nasty, old school heels. You know what I'm saying? I do like the Lord Steven Regal reference because that dude. But the thing about Regal is he's always been a very
technician.
tough, but he's a technician.
He's an old catch. He's what they call the old catch as can wrestler. He's an old Stu Hart, Bret Hart wrestler. If you ever watch like Bret Hart's technical, go see William Regal.
Yeah.
When William Regal would do things to people and you just be like, what the fuck? Like he's very much in it.
Yeah, his old WCW matches were really good ones to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't like when he first came to WWF and they try to make him like the blue collar construction worker guy. I was like, what the hell is this, man?
This dude is he's not even from this fucking country. Why is he wearing construction worker gear? Why are you wearing construction worker gear and other gear? Like, bro, is this a wrestling show or is this S&M show for goddamn Bob the Builder to go and handle his business in the back room or something? What the fuck is this shit?
The village people.
Yeah, what the fuck is this shit? Like, they did that to him. I'm like, no, that doesn't even fit him. Any asshole with one eye and half a sense, no, that don't fit him. But
well, you know,
thank God.
Vince saw a tough guy. Okay, pal, this is what we're gonna do. You're a rough and tumble guy, so we're gonna make you a construction worker. Because here in America, all the tough guys are construction workers, pal. So yeah, I hear you, bro. I was like, that's a ridiculous gimmick they put on him. But
that's a good Vince impersonation.
Hey, pal, you're fired.
Good
yeah,
Vince
but
one.
you know, like when he came, remember when he used to call Triple H, he called him Triple H? I loved it, man. He called people Sunshine, and you know, it was like this guy he was funny as hell, but he was like serious at the same time, and he was tough and mean, and that dude, man, I don't know how we got on such a tangent about Regal, but hats off to him, man. He was incredible. I wasn't too fond of him in AEW. I felt he was underutilized, and I was glad he left when he did because the Blackpool Combat Club
that had potential, and it just it
didn't work. And now they're called the Death Riders, and it's just a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Anyway, but salute to Steven Regal, salute to Gunther, salute to Nick Aldis, man, for an incredible match. It was great. That perked me up because I was like falling asleep, and I caught the end of the match, and then I heard Oasis, and I perked right up. I was like, oh, here we go. And it was a good match. Didn't disappoint. I gave it a B+. It was a good match.
Got you. Next match. I'm sorry, ladies. I apologize, ladies.
I don't.
Fatal Influence versus the Bella Twins and Paige. Now, I'm gonna do this in a different way. I like to see Fatal Influence come in. JC Jane, look, she has a very punchable face, but that's her character, and that's what I like about it. She got a very punchable face. Like, okay, she needs to get punched in the face hard.
By a woman. By a woman.
By a woman. I'm sorry, not by a man. By a woman.
Yeah, we don't condone that around here at RBP. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know how to say it, but she has a punchable face for females.
Fact.
But the match was the match. The Bella twins turning on Paige is an interesting thing to me. Fatal Influence won the match, but they turned on Paige, and I'm wondering what Nikki Bella was gonna pop out and have a showing. And I don't know about you, but I'm over the Bella twins in general. I am.
I,
I mean, your time was your time. It was cool, but I'm like, okay, if this is what you're giving Fatal Influence to work with it. But the Paige part turning the Bella's twins turning on, but Nikki Bella turning on Paige, which is like one of them night one things. You're just like, okay.
Bree's married to Brian Danielson, right?
Yes, she is.
And it's funny because Bree was always known as the weaker worker, but looks like maybe he's been training her a little bit or something. I don't know, because Nikki
Ever
has
since
been,
ever since they've been dating, ever since they've been married, she's been better than Nikki ever since.
yeah. So Nikki's run has been terrible. Even before Bree came back, it was fucking terrible. Her promos suck. Her work sucks. Yeah, she's pretty and she wears a baseball cap backwards. Yay, good job. And then Nikki turned heel, and then as soon as Bree came and they introduced Paige, all of a sudden they're baby faces again. I'm like, So, and here's the thing: we have seen this is the third or fourth tag team in less than a year where they lose a title match and they turn on their partner. So Becky and Lyra Valkyria and Bailey. And this just happened, not even a month ago. And
Last
now
year
they're
was
doing it again. I expected this. I was like, they're going to lose. Watch, they're going to lose. And the Bella twins are going to turn on Paige. I can see it. I smelled it a mile away. And sure enough, I rolled my eyes when it happened. I was like, oh God, this is so tired. This is just, I was just, I don't know. This match was boring. I was fast forwarding through parts of it because I just didn't want to see it. I don't like Fatal Influence. I don't believe them. I'm not convinced by them. I'm like, they look like rookies to me. I don't know. I don't like the name. I don't like the team up. I don't like any of it. And Paige was a decent wrestler in her first run in WWE, but then she went to AEW and she got ruined because wrestlers seem to throw all the rules that out the window when they go to AEW, and she was just awful. It was just trash matches, weapons and trash and you know, uh, lazy booking, no holds barred matches. It was just all the same crap. And then she came back here and it's like she forgot how to work. So I wasn't. This was the worst match of both nights to me. So sorry, not sorry.
well, Paige was a great worker when she was first run.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
She was actually coming in because by the time she was hot and then it was Paige's also following AJ Lee's transition from the Divas era to
Yeah.
women's wrestling.
Well, and she
But
has a huge wrestling family too.
so that part comes in, but it just it definitely wasn't the best women's match of the night. So we're not even like we both agree with that. It just seems like when the Bellas come in town, it's a celebrity match now, not a wrestling match anymore.
hmm
I'm sorry, but it just seems that way.
no,
Moving
zero lies
along,
detected, bro.
night one's main event. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. Greeny, we are here.
Wait, wait a minute. You forgot Oba and Brock.
Oh, I'm sorry. Damn, how the fuck
Wait,
did I forget that one?
were they the main event or was Cody and Punk?
Cody and Punk was Oba and
Okay.
Brock. I'm sorry,
So yeah, let's
Cody
get
and Punk.
into. Yeah, yeah,
I went
yeah.
out of my note. My notes went out of order. I'm sorry. We'll get there. Oba versus Brock. Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. Hell in the Cell in Minnesota. Oh my God. Whew, how do I describe what I saw?
I was
A
doing
hell
this.
of a match that didn't disappoint.
Yeah.
I don't care if Brock went off script a little bit. I have to go back and look at the part because it came across my timeline a little bit about Brock going off script a little bit. But I don't really give a fuck because he's fucking Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. Oba knew. I'm pretty sure Oba knew.
What do you go off script about?
I gotta go look at it. It kind of got sent to me, so I had got a chance to look at it. I have to look at the sequence of something that
Hmm.
might have happened. But Oba versus Brock. Look, I'm sorry, Triple H. Triple H, like you. One of my good wrestlers. But you could have left that sentence out about Oba working with Brock, even though I know we all know what it is. But you can tell Oba and Brock. Brock made Oba earn it tonight. Earn it Saturday. He made him earn.
Hmm.
He made him earn every inch of that match,
Seemed a little
and
stiff.
it did. But I was hoping. I mean, I already knew it was going to be a stiff. For people who don't know what a stiff match is, that means a hard hitting, almost borderline real kind of
Like shoot
shoot,
stiff. Yeah.
a shoot stiff.
Pause.
And we don't pause over here, damn it.
Hey, but just in case Seven's
Sev,
watching.
I'm not giving it to him. Sorry. Not giving it. Refuse to give it to him.
Oh man.
But it was stiff, but it was also very much of old Brock that's still an athlete and an Oba that's a young athlete. And it's like, yeah. And then he pulled out an Undertaker tombstone on the motherfucking exposed ring. I was like, you pulled a tombstone out tonight? Not a bad tombstone, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a bad one. So you knew Brock was going out. If you didn't know before, you knew then. Like, what the fuck? Brock Lesnar doing a tombstone?
Yeah. I wanted to see Oba give him the fall from grace on the exposed ring. I kind of wondering if that was a timing issue because it seems like if he had reversed that tombstone and then gave him the fall from grace on that exposed ring, it would have meant more. It would have been like, oh, yeah.
It would have ended the match.
And it would have been a better utilization of an exposed ring. I mean, it was barely used, just for one tombstone pile driver.
But here's where I disagree with you about this a little bit though.
Okay.
Brock's older. So
Yeah.
Brock had to use that to put a young buck to try to put a young buck away.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
So it meant more for Brock having to do it. Like Brock Lesnar has to actually do this. He can't just whoop somebody's ass. He actually has to use this shit. So I think that was actually a smart utilization of it though.
Yeah.
Now, do I think Oba should have used it? Sure, but I had a fall from grace from a different angle though.
Yeah.
I think he should have did a fall from grace. Maybe Brock Lesnar was on the turnbuckle somewhere high, a high risk maneuver, and he just happened to be able to catch Brock's ass and fall from grace from that top match over.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I think that would have been cool, but hey, that's just us. We fantasy booking and endings. Don't worry, we do them all around here.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the match goes, Paul Heyman being Paul Heyman, and just if you just watch Paul Heyman in that match a little bit, from what I've watched of it, was just like, yeah, Paul is just soaking it in, but he's still being Paul because it's like, I got to be the advocate. I got to be everything for the last time.
Yeah.
And Brock just being like Brock, like calculated, and Oba just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm good with Brock Lesnar. I can do everything I can't do with it. Everything I want to do with Brock, I can do with Brock, and Brock can be like, cool, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it turned out to be, I thought it would be a little more chaos in the match, but it was more organized chaos.
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely more organized chaos, but I love that match. And Brock Lesnar doing what he did at the end of that match, I was like, yeah, this is why people like Mark Henry will say, I know people have an opinion about Brock Lesnar, but he took my daughter and my son. And I'm like, him
Yeah.
doing that was like, all right, bro gets it.
Yeah. Um, my only gripe about that is they didn't use the cell enough as a weapon. They were relying on tables and chairs, and I get it. It's no DQ, but they didn't really use the cell. Like I've seen in other matches, like other Brock and Undertaker matches, Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker. I've seen so many Hell in the Cell, Triple H and I think who was it? Triple H and Shawn Michaels. They had a Hell in a Cell
No,
match where they really. I mean, look at the Undertaker and Mankind, for crying out loud. They really use that cage as a weapon and part of the match, and I really wanted to see that, and I didn't. I did like the how he threw him into the table. That was pretty cool. That was pretty good looking because it was like up close and personal. And the cameraman got a little shook up over it, and you know, but yeah, I wanted to. There was no blood. I'm not a big blood guy, but with something like Hell in the Cell, you're expecting there's a certain level of gratuitous
brutality.
violence that you expect out of a match like that. And I didn't see that. It was a good match. I love Obafemi. I love Brock Lesnar. The usually when you get two big guys together, sometimes the dynamic doesn't work. But this did. So overall, I still gave it like a B, almost B plus. It was a good match, and it was that and the Nick Aldis match was my two favorite of the night. So
I use this example when it comes to Hell in a Cell because you brought up a very good point about using the use of the cell.
mhm.
And I think that applies from a wrestling psychology part. You tell me how you think about this if I'm wrong. I believe it comes into play when you're using, because history kind of shows it this way,
Mhm.
when there's real animosity, big guy versus little guy, the crazy one versus the strange one, the more athletic one versus the established one. This match, when you have this level of it, the cage, it's not so much about the cell so much as about the two guys in it, being Brock Lesnar, Open Femi, meaning they're so big and huge, the hell in the cell is used to contain everything,
Mm.
to contain them because of the shit they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And not so much about the cell itself, or just about the containment of them. Is that kind of something you possibly, am I off base a little bit about that?
No, I not really. Um, that's why I didn't. There's no way I could absolutely hate this match. This is just my personal opinion. I just wanted them to utilize the cage a little more, but I don't fault the match at all that they didn't use it. That they use it more as a container, as like a a cell to lock them in where that nobody can escape type thing. Yeah, that much is true. So I still enjoyed this match.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
so yeah.
Next on the docket is where I went first without a reverse. Punk and Cody Rhodes. Now I know you probably got some mixed emotions about this. Greeny, I'm gonna go ahead and cut you off right now because Green, you said Randy Orton came back. And Brandy, thank you for coming back. I was wondering when you would come out of that hole because I've been waiting for you. On the RKO, mm, I give that an average RKO. He didn't catch a body. He looked at Cody. I'm gonna rate the RKO before I even get to the match. I'm sorry, just because I always think it would have been a better RKO if he'd have caught his ass in the middle of doing the goddamn crossroads, or just came out of fucking nowhere for real. Just like, whoop, wait a minute, what the fuck? That's Randy Orton's superpower to me. When he catches you with an RKO and it's worked out, and it's like, oh, he caught that motherfucker. They worked that out. That's perfect. But
Yeah.
the match itself, Cody versus Punk, was very much their pace. Very much their pace. Punk doesn't work fast, but he works intentional. Cody also does not work fast until he has to.
Hmm.
But those signs of Cody doing stuff to win a match more than trying to be a white meat baby face is creeping in there a little bit too. But
Yeah.
Punk in that match, the match itself, I would actually give the match an average grade, but it's also Randy Orton interrupting the match and not Cody not CM Punk not winning clean tells me okay. And sidebar, we're gonna do the match, and then we're gonna also, I didn't tell you this, we're gonna do react to CM Punk's promo as well
Oh yeah.
to tie into that as well.
Yeah.
So you do the match, and then we'll get to the
So
promo.
I it just wasn't their best match, both of them. I am a huge CM Punk fan, and I know some people are like, you like Pepsi Phil, CM Puke, he's a cancer." And there's some really weird people out there, but it's whatever. I don't care. I've always liked Phil. And here's the thing. I was really rooting for him because he's straight edge. He doesn't do drugs or alcohol, right? And yesterday was my 13 years clean and sober. That was my
Correct.
birthday. We call that my recovery birthday. And so I was really pulling for CM Punk, right? And I he's in such good shape. Like this is the best shape he's ever been in. He looks excellent. Like he's gotten a little swole on him, and you know, it seems like Minnesota was securely behind CM Punk. They were very loud for him, and it was mixed reaction for Cody. And Cody comes out. What? Okay, just a little thing I'm going to get into. The wrestlers coming out to get was it Gears of War and the Street Fighter stuff, and doing these gimmicked themes that they do when they come out to the ring. I think it's so stupid. It's so dumb. That's a TKO thing, and I hate it. I hate all the ads. I hate all the
Ooh,
they put the
ooh.
freaking Wingstop logo on the chair, and I was like, I texted you yesterday. I said, "This chair shot has been brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor has wings." You know, like I was like, this shit is so dumb. And so Cody, he comes out with his skull mask thing that he wears, which I think is ridiculous in itself. But he had the guile haircut, and he looked so silly. I was just like, oh God, I hate this. I hated that. I hated that
Oh,
entrance.
let me give you this little tidbit because the ad part I actually was going if you have time and you was gonna rant about that. I knew you was gonna get to the ad part because you can't fucking stand the ads.
Yeah, I hate them.
But the gimmick part was you know who did that the best? New Day did that the best, better than anybody else has ever done
With what?
it. New Day would always do new things like come out like in anime gear. When
Yeah.
New Day would do it, New Day would do it in a way that you understood it and it always fit.
Yeah, because they weren't promoting a movie that that was WWE was paying for or they were, buying advertising for. They were doing their favorite anime characters or their favorite colors, and I like that about New Day. But this stuff seems forced when they do this.
When
Like they
Cody
did it.
does it, when Cody does it, it's and it almost you know what? Is Cody doing all this shit so when he turns fucking heel, is this like it stops? Like, is he doing it? Is a part of me thinking? Do you think it's part of you thinking like he's doing all this as a white meat baby face and is like, we're tired of this shit, Cody?
Yeah, maybe.
Is somebody? Is it just my crazy mind and my one-off mind to be thinking? Is somebody thinking that crazy way?
Maybe. I hope so, because damn it, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I like the Usos and Jacob Fatu coming out to the Gears of War. I did like Jacob Fatu's werewolf mask. That was pretty dope. But it's just,
Boogeyman.
yeah,
Mm-mm. He took a page from the he took a couple things from the Boogeyman.
yeah, yeah. But that was okay. But it still was the same thing. I was like, I hate that. This entrance is brought to you by this movie that's coming out, or this video game, or So anyway, Cody comes out, and then Punk comes out, and he's wearing the Minnesota hockey team, the North Stars, I think they're called, wearing their colors, and then the number 20 on the back of his jacket, which I appreciate about Punk, because he's a big hockey fan, and he's a sports fan, and he's always showing homage to the sports team. He pays respect to the town by showing paying homage to the greats. So I liked, and Punk is Punk when he comes out. It's clobbering time, blah blah blah, and he comes to the ring, no frills, no BS, no stupid haircuts on a silver mask. It was just, I liked it. It was a wrestling entrance. It was great. He came out, and then they had the match, and he was selling the leg, the knee, and some of the moves he was doing while selling the knee looked really awkward and botchy, and it made the match seem a little clunky. It didn't have a good flow to it at all, and then
It was definitely a stop start. It kind of
yeah,
felt stop start, but I think
yeah,
that's some of the slower pace of it. Some of that that's the pacing of it, because
but
they have time to do it, but it feels Punk feels slower paced and what's the word? But he feels slower pace. His matches are really feel have a pace to them now,
yeah,
a
yeah,
clear
definitely,
pace to them.
yeah. Well, it was like that supposed drop kick he was supposed to be doing, and he only got one leg up on Cody, and it looked so bad. And they tried to, Michael Cole and Wade Barrett were trying to, like, oh, it's his leg, it hurts, and I get it, but at the same time, it just looked very clunky. It looked very stop start. It just didn't flow. And then the ref gets knocked out, and who comes in? Our guy Randy Orton. And I popped for that. I was excited. I was like, yes, Randy's back. Oh my God. I thought he might have been done because of his neck problems, but gave that TKO or RKO, and it wasn't the best RKO in the world. But what I really liked is when he looked in the camera and he winked. I loved it. And then I was disappointed. I was glad he was back, but I was disappointed because Punk didn't win clean. But I know it's going to set up like a good series between Cody and Punk, and this may be the time where we get a Cody heel turn. Hopefully, he was wearing all black too, so let's hope.
Yeah, that all black thing might be significant. You might get your wish and get the all black hair executive Cody,
Yeah,
which wouldn't be a bad thing. Randy coming back though was definitely significant. So it depends on what kind of Randy we get, because Randy's toting the line now to where fans love him, he appreciates him, but
they,
he can also just pull the voices, the quote unquote voices, meaning I know you want me to RKO him, but I'm not. But then it's like, fuck it, I'll RKO. Eh. He just does that shit like
Yeah. Yeah.
what'd
Okay.
you expect?
Yeah.
I'm fucking Randy Orton. What'd you expect? But that definitely was the thing. Randy definitely did that. Now, the end part, post match, CM Punk's promo. You sent it to me as a pipe bomb. I don't think it's a pipe bomb. I just think shit. Talking the post show, you get more unfiltered, and they're just like Punk just leans into it and just says "fuck it." Because I
He
even heard
said,
a, I even heard a goddamn Punk. I either heard a shit Punk or a goddamn Punk when he said, "I ain't no pussy," and I'm like, "Yo," I'm like,
yeah.
"Wait, what the fuck is he like?" For those who haven't watched it, CM Punk cut a promo on the post match angle of SummerSlam Night 1. Uh, he called out your wrestler's favorite wrestler being over Femi, Randy Orton. He left Sammy out. Sammy did cut a promo post match as well. I did not watch that part, so
I didn't see it either.
I saw it, but I didn't watch it. Over Femi took mad shots at Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm. He said,
Mad.
I loved it when he said, "Did I like it when Randy did what he did? No, I didn't see it because I was knocked out, but I didn't like it. But if Randy wants to get some, he can get some. Hell, his dad, Bob, can get some. And if his
His
mom wants to
mom.
get some, I'll slap her too." And and I was like, "What?" And the commentator's like, "Okay, all right." And then he said, and
That
everybody
was the
started chanting
shit.
Oba.
That was the shit Punk. He's like shit Punk.
Yeah. And they was like, "Oh, you want Oba? I want Oba too. He's the future of this business. He's great, and I want to wrestle him. I want him to come after me. Come get me, you know." And he said
But
something
I'm the
like, you know, you
but
might be the future, but I'm the right now."
I'm the
You know?
president. I'm the
Yeah,
president, and I might be the president under the tree you don't want to open.
yeah,
You might be surprised when you open.
yeah.
So
So
Punk, I'll come to Raw. You want me to watch Raw? Raw's ratings are low. Monday night
yeah,
ratings are low. Shit, I'll come wrestle Monday night. Shit.
yeah,
You want to? You
yeah,
won't? You want to? You hadn't picked what title? So he actually acknowledged that Oba has a choice to pick what's champion. He was like, "Yeah, you want to pick a champion? You can pick the mundane one who ain't ever here. But you want to fight? You come fight the one on Friday." Like,
yeah,
oh
yep. That was a great promo.
yeah.
I was talking to somebody today who's also a wrestling fan. I was at a barbecue today, and he was telling me, he's like, you know, one thing that he's always felt is lacked is in the new era is the promos because they're written by AI. And I was like, well, one thing I appreciate about Punk is he doesn't do that. They'll give him bullet points and he'll just cut an old school promo the way it should be cut. And he's like seriously one of the best promo cutters in the game. Always has been. He's amazing. And people hate him for it. I don't know. There's some Jack Perry and Young Buck fans who just despise CM Punk, and they call him CM Puke and Pepsi Phil, and you know all that BS. But he's a great wrestler, and he's somebody I've always looked up to and admired, especially with his no drug use. You know, because you know I'm on that path too. The only drugs I ever take is caffeine and maybe some ibuprofen in the morning before I go to work. But beyond that, no illicit drugs whatsoever, or alcohol, not anymore. So,
Well,
who said that? CM Puke. Now that, well, I can't read the rest of that. There's some covering. Oh,
then
that's funny.
oh
Is that
yeah,
seven?
you don't get a damn plate, sir. You come here ask for no damn plate. Come in here ask for no damn plate.
Anyway,
Uh, but the Punk thing though, the CM Punk thing. But the Punk thing is always interesting to see where it's gonna go. It just depends on who they put him with, and I know they're gonna put him. They're gonna put him. Ain't no hate, sir. You should have been there. The thing is who they put him with, and then that'll tell you the story. Night two. We're gonna move on to night two.
yeah,
Night
let's do
two.
that.
We're gonna start with the match I thought would be match of the night. Not quite, cause something
Mm,
else kind of not quite, but it wasn't damn bad though.
it was
Penta versus
bittersweet.
Penta versus Chad Gable.
That wasn't the first match.
Oh, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But I had it wrote down first. That's the reason why.
Okay, we can cover that first.
I had it written down first.
That's
That's the
why I
one I
said it was
wanted.
bittersweet because I thought we were talking about something else. But
Oh,
okay,
now we get. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wrote that one down first. I skipped over it and went in a different era. I had to throw a curveball in
7 throwing laughing emojis in there.
there. Penta versus Chad Gable. This was the match everybody wasn't talking about, but I'll be damned if I wasn't watching it.
I watched it.
If they give them time, they can put together something. Now, was it a masterpiece? No, because I know they didn't have the time to.
Yeah,
But with the time they did have, they made it work.
yeah.
And they made it work. My only gripe about this match. This is my only gripe. It looked like Chad Gable wanted to be El Grande Americano, but he couldn't have the time to do that and be Chad Gable.
Hmm.
But other than that, I got no gripes with the match.
I mean, I saw a couple little callbacks he did to El Grande Americano, like with his hand movements. He did a couple things, and crowd popped for that. But this definitely was not mass versus mass. That was probably one of the best matches I'd seen in 10 years. The two El Grande Americanos. That was such a good match. This was definitely a couple steps down. It was still good, and I don't fault Chad Gable for that. Penta wrestles differently. Like, okay, so for instance, when you throw a headlock, you're supposed to throw a headlock with your left hand, your left arm, or when you throw off, you're supposed to use your opposite hand of what you're strong. So if you got him in a headlock, you throw off with your right hand. He always does it the opposite way and gets a headlock in his right hand, throws off with his left, and it throws the timing off. Um, so there's a lot of timing issues with Penta that I don't like. There's a lot I do like about Penta, and like the failed Mexican destroyer on the ring apron. That looked really bad. I couldn't even believe they replayed that. But yeah, I mean, Chad Gable, I've said this before. He's an incredible worker, and I felt he's kind of gotten a bad deal in WWE, and I think it's because he's in Kurt Angle's shadow, and people expect him to be Kurt Angle, and he's just there's so many comparisons to him, but he's not Kurt Angle. You know, I hate his new theme music. It's so generic, 80s rock, Hulk Hogan. Ugh, it makes me sick to my stomach. I hate it. Um, and as a babyface, he kind of has a hard time getting over. I like as far as like being charismatic. So I don't know. I'm glad he's Chad Gable again because I hated El Grande Americano. Kaiser can keep that, you know. But this was still a really good match, and I ain't gonna lie, I got a little bit choked up when he won. I got a little choked up because I could tell he's in his hometown, his family's there. He brought his mom and dad, and all his kids were in the ring. And I don't know if you noticed, but one of his daughters was kind of like scared. Like when he was celebrating, she was like backing away and hiding behind her mom. And I was like, that's weird. His youngest daughter was just like, I don't know if she's like been to one. Well, no, I think she was down in Mexico. I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, I don't know if you saw that or not, but I was like, what is going on with his daughter? She's like scared, like she seems scared of her dad. So I don't know. But other than that, it was it was emotional. It was and Minnesota got really behind him and really it was good. I was happy for him. So
Yeah, the match itself had its, I said I didn't have much to complain about it because there was the hiccups or whatever, but they corrected them. And to your point about Penta, I think Penta's left-handed. So because how you explained it to me, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how left-handed people work. I'm left-handed, so
Yeah.
in understanding, I'm left-handed, so understanding that is like, yeah, I kind of get that because he's always been awkward to work with. It's like
Yeah.
Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix has always been more seamless.
I don't know what's
Has
going on.
always his
Sorry.
brother Ray Phoenix has always been seamless, and Penta's always been
Yeah.
the awkward one. So I can kind of understand and see where you're going with that. That's actually a pretty damn good observation that you said that because it's something I've kind of noticed, but you kind of explained it to me, kind of showed it to me myself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but
Sorry. Keep going. I'm trying to get my lights back on, man. Like, I'm up here podding in the dark. I always have problems with my lights.
usually when you say something off brand, you know your lights go out every time.
I know.
Every
It's
time
like
you say something crazy, your light goes out. So that that's the wrestling guy's way of telling you you might want to stop talking crazy. But the next one we got is okay, the women's WWE interim title match, ladder match. I must admit something. This match was actually better than I thought it was going to be.
okay.
Actually, it was not gonna say very, but it was actually a stable, good match.
Mm-hmm.
The chaos was controlled. Now you had Chelsea Green, Jade Cargill, Charlotte Flair, and Last Legend.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a sequence in that match where I'm almost saying to myself, shit, Last Legend and Jade Cargill should have been together.
Yeah. Instead of her and Nia Jax.
I like her and Nia together, but it almost feels like her and Last should be together more because it almost like them might be the two, pardon my French ladies, and I mean this with the most compliments as possible could be, they might be the two baddest bitches in the tag team division. It
Yeah.
felt like it could be that way, but the match itself,
I would
uh,
like those two together more than B-Fab and Meechin.
yeah, me Fab and me Chin did have some interference in the match, but
No,
there are
what I mean is I would rather see B-Fab. Excuse me. I'd rather see Last Legend and Jade Cargill together more so than B-Fab and Meechin. Does that make sense?
oh
I'd
yeah,
much
yeah, I
rather
got you.
see those two. There we go. Now we got some lights. Thank God on the second day he said, "Let there be light." No, I'm just anyway. Yeah. So anyway, continuing with
But
what
the
you're saying.
but the match went the way it went, and everybody thought it was gonna be Chad. It was gonna be Jade and Charlotte, and
Hmm.
then Chelsea got thrown into this thing. And I must
Hmm.
admit, Chelsea Green wins the match, and I must admit, I was happy Chelsea won. It was a
I
welcome
was too.
surprise. It
I
was a
was too.
welcome surprise.
And here's the thing: there's a little tie-in with Minnesota, and I'm going to get political here, but Minnesota is a very liberal state, and Chelsea Green is a very liberal person, and so I think I noticed that the people of Minnesota were really strongly behind her, and
Very much so.
and I I was glad to see her win. I didn't like her heel run. The what was it called? The secret
The
Purvis
hurt
and all that
secret
bullshit. I didn't
Herbers.
like none of that. But I like Chelsea Green as a worker. It's Matt Cardona's wife. I mean, that's not germane to the situation, but I've always liked Chelsea Green, and so to see her and seeing her and Tiffany working together, that was cool. Yeah, and winning that
Bruh.
title, it was deserved. It was a breath of fresh air.
So
Hmm.
that damn if I didn't know Chelsea was gonna win the interim title,
Hmm.
her and Tiffany Stratton as a tag team works.
Yeah,
And it works better than I thought it was gonna work.
yeah, yeah. They look
They
good
have a
together.
they have a very good comedy tag team serious relationship ish.
Hmm.
where Tiffany kind of balance out the seriousness, but she could show her goofy side, and Chelsea can do it in her own way. But
Yeah.
it works. But the match itself was not bad. I know people thought Charlotte or Jay was going to win it, so I was glad Chelsea won. I'm a little bittersweet about it because I'm like, okay, Chelsea got to face Rhea Ripley somewhere down the line, maybe.
Mm,
And you don't want the placeholder to it, but all things being equal, this could be a thing where Chelsea can work a little bit and get a little bit momentum behind her. Maybe you can make it into something. I'm hoping
yeah.
she does.
Yeah. I agree. 7 said big love to Minnesota. Agree.
Never been. Never been. Just
Me
don't want to go in
neither.
the winter.
But seeing what happened this past winter, seeing how the people of Minneapolis really stepped out in the name of democracy. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get political, but yeah, I have a newfound respect for Minnesota. So anyway, but yeah, Chelsea Green, I hope that she has a decent run. I hope she's not just a placeholder and then Rhea Ripley comes back and dominates her. But I did have a gripe about doing this interim thing. That's an AEW thing, and WWE is definitely the big brother. Why are they copying? Well, I know they do it in UFC also. And so they're going to say, well, our sister group, UFC does it, and that's where we got it from. Okay, whatever. It's still dumb. Just vacate the title like WWE always has. Have the ladder match. Let Chelsea be the champion, and then when Rhea gets better, she can come back and challenge for it. It was just.
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
applies. It applies in this situation only because you didn't put it on Charlotte per se.
Yeah.
You didn't put it on somebody established, so it's almost one of them things where let's see who shows and proves.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to you showing and proving because you never know. You know what I'm saying? Accidents happen, injuries happens all the time, and some people bubble up. It's like, Nia Jax punching Becky Lynch in the face. I read Seb's comment. I'm just not gonna comment on it.
Yeah.
I read it. I read the shit.
I
I
said
saw
it.
it.
I saw it too. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Jay Cargill and Lash Legend, they can get it. They can get it. And I love Lash Legend just because she played for my Seattle Storm. Shout out to Lash Legend. But oh man, I feel you. Start watching, Seven. I'd like to see your comments on things, man. So anyway, I'll say what
But
you didn't want to say.
I'll leave it to you on that one. I'm not gonna touch that one, but yeah, he's going to. I'll just I'll just say it this way. I think this is to Seven the Panther who's in the chat. Yeah, I think she can replace Skylar easy. He ain't gonna like that one. But you started this shit, so I'm gonna throw that. I think she can replace Skylar easy.
Man.
Give him 5. There you go. See, it ain't take but a second. See, I like start. You want to start shit? We start shit.
He said, I just saw Last Legend. That's 2 reasons. Facts. When she came in the ring, I was like, oh my God. Whoo, I was like,
Trick
whoo,
Williams, sir.
whoo.
Salute to you, sir. That's all I got to say.
I love me some melanated, beautiful women. I'll tell you that. Shoot. She was.
Hold up. Lash can hoop. Lash used to hoop, and Jade did too. So just for the record, yeah, we can get that question answered. But anyway, back on topic. But the match also wasn't bad. The interim title was good. Chelsea can definitely make some headway for herself. Make some definitely headway. I think she can. I
Let's
just
hope
think
she can carry the women's division, because I've said this a million times. The women's division is a mess right now, and damn, my roommate he's in his room. He's going off. I'm like,
oh man, I left something out. I didn't write this. My bad. My notes were lacking.
Yeah, you've been a little out of order tonight, but that's okay.
Yeah, I went out of order because I started taking notes and I started taking notes out of order. Next match, we're gonna get to the one that made me the happiest. One of the happy matches. The fatal four way for the #1 contendership.
That's my bittersweet match.
That match, okay, it started off with Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. Decent
Mm-hmm.
match. Nick Aldis pulled out not Magnus, Jesus Christ, pulled out Gunther, and
And
then he
Gunther
pulled out
shook his hand. Got to get into that part. Gunther went over and shook Nick Aldis's hand. I was like, oh,
ah,
because and give them a little backstory because after his match, Nick Aldis handed Triple H his resignation from WWE,
he did.
and Triple H looked at that and said, "Are you kidding me? You're too valuable here." And he ripped it up. Said, "I'm reinstating you as general manager." And so,
Stay away
so,
from Gunther.
so yeah, he said, "Okay, I know I said this. I'm going to add a stipulation. We're going to add a wrestler, and we're going to make it the ring general." And I was shocked. I was like, after that ass whooping he gave you, you're going to let him get in this match? And then he came over and shook his hand. And I was like, is a heel turn coming? What's going on? So
I think that was just his way of respect, and I
yeah,
think that's important. I think that's also very important.
yeah,
And then the surprise, I didn't know I wanted it until I got it, but I was happy as hell. My Canadian cousin comes back, Kevin Owens.
yes.
Boy, I saw that shit. I was like, my dog is back.
I started
My dog is back.
like, I jumped up out of my seat, bro. I was like, yes, KO's back. Let's go. Let's go, man. I was so happy. I thought he was done, bro. Like, and that was
Se-
real.
17 months,
Yeah.
year and a half, 17 months. My boy came back from neck surgery, and he did not disappoint.
No.
Not all. Sami Zayn's reaction was like, holy shit. Like he saw the devil he didn't want to see. He was like, I'll be damned, this son of a bitch is back.
But
And it just
they did hug each other before they beat
they
the shit
did
out of each other.
they did hug. And then Sammy did Kevin Owens shit throughout the match, but you just
Yeah.
can't do it from the match. You ain't better than the master, son.
Yeah. Nope.
And what's really crazy about it is, and I didn't think anybody could do it since he did it, since Stone Cold did it, but Kevin Owens got that damn stunner. He got it.
Yeah. Yeah. He does good.
He-
Stone Cold gave him the pass at WrestleMania 20 or 40. Was it 40 or 39 where they wrestled each other?
It might have been 40. Oh, hell, I don't remember. It might have been
I think it was
39 or
40.
40.
It was
Yeah.
40 in Dallas. And that was his way of passing the torch. He came out of retirement to wrestle Kevin Owens just to pass that stunner move on to him, which I thought was a huge mark of respect for Kevin Owens. And I love Kevin Owens, man. Like he's another one of
He
those people that I respect as a human being. And Sammy too. As a outside of wrestling, I respect both of them a lot. And but I respect KO's work ethic too. He's incredible worker for a big man. So yeah.
he has since he was Kevin Steen.
Yes.
He is the reason I actually started watching Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
He is the reason I started watching Ring of Honor, because when he was in Ring of Honor, that
Him
was
and El Generico.
yeah.
Who's Sami Zayn? For those who don't know, El Generico is Sami Zayn. Oh man.
The match itself, I know you don't like fatal four ways, but chemistry, we always say chemistry is important. Everybody had chemistry in that match. And it all seemed to work very damn near pretty well.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of somebody gets knocked out and he's dead for 15 minutes of the match and then pops back in magically. There was a lot of inner working moves in this. There was a couple rollouts where they would stay down for a couple minutes, but then they'd get back into it, and it was kind of interchangeable, and it worked for a fatal four way. It was decent. I'm not a big fan of three ways and four ways. I just think it's sloppy. It takes away from the match. It's a distraction. It's I'm almost like on the fence with like multiple man ladder matches too, but those can be done right. Those can be done better because there's a lot of movable parts and stuff like that. But yeah, this one was pretty good. I give it some. That's why I said it was bittersweet. I was like, when he started announcing people, I was like, oh God, here comes Gunther as a three-way, and I was like, oh, here we go. And then he said he's going to announce a fourth person. I'm like, no, please, God, no. Why? But then when it was KO, I jumped out of my seat and I forgot all that it was a fatal four way. I was like, all I cared about was that Kevin Owens was back. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
But
and I was really excited, and I just enjoyed watching him work, and he won the match. So
yeah, Kevin Owens is the new number one contender, and we're gonna have to touch that somewhere here soon. But
mhm.
it was a workhorse fatal four way. That's what made it work for me. It was a
Yeah,
workhorse.
yeah, there
You
wasn't
have
really any weak links out of any of those guys. They're all
no,
excellent workers.
very much so. Even Finn Balor being the smaller man, and I'm hoping this tips it to his scale. Is like you can see that like Triple H is behind Finn, and just like let him for whatever time he's gonna do. Let him be him,
Yeah, definitely.
and everybody else was just themselves. Sammy was the only one who worked his Sammy way. And then it was like it still works because it's like, oh, he's gonna be an annoying fucking asshole. Like, God forbid he wins the fucking match. People are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, right.
But like, if he won, he'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
But it would have fit. It actually would have fit the narrative of okay, he got his match, cool. Like, what the fuck? But
right.
cool. But KO winning it tells me like, okay, we all know, the whole neck injury, him and Cody feud, that whole thing derailed it. Kevin Owens was hot then. It was almost like somebody in the comments said if he had a came out with a old WWF logo and his entrance, that would have even made it even cooler.
Yeah, yeah. Um, this is going to bolster Sammy's opinion about. Remember when CM Punk came back after 3 months or whatever and wins the title from Sammy, and Sammy complained about that. Yeah, I've been here working my butt off, and he comes back and he's just handed this opportunity. I bet you anything, even though Owens is his best friend, he's still gonna say the same thing. Though I'm glad to see Kevin back. He's my best friend and I love him, but I'm really pissed that Nick Aldis just handed him an opportunity after being gone for a year and a half, and I've been over here working my tail off. This is a gross injustice. I could just see Sammy cutting that kind of promo. And yeah, so it fit. It was really good. And so hats off to KO. Man, Randy Orton came back. Kevin Owens came back. I was like, man, this is okay. All right. I was pleased. So
All right. We have two matches before we get to the main event. One of these is up your wheelhouse, and the other one you probably be like you was surprised, but you probably didn't watch. You probably was in the middle of the road. The next match is the United States Championship match: Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams.
I fell asleep during that. I didn't watch any of it. I heard Baron Corbin won, but yeah, I missed that match completely.
Mm.
So break it down for me. Let me know what you thought, because I was gonna go back and watch it, like rewind back and watch it, but I was just like, man, I'm running out of time. We got to do the pod, so I was like, All right, I'm gonna let Phantom tell me what happened. I know that I know
Uh,
Baron Corbin won, and that's all I
it
know.
it's man, it felt like a very it's a come down match.
Okay.
It was a very much come down match. You know, Trick was Trick, Baron was Baron. Crowd seemed to be more behind Baron a little bit winning the title, but
Hmm.
it didn't. It turned out to be a go get popcorn, go to the bathroom match, and I hate to
Okay.
say that. I
Yeah,
really hate to
an
say that.
intermission match. I get it. Definitely a mid card match.
Yeah,
I've never been a big Baron Corbin fan. Like me and my daughter used to watch him, and she'd call him boring Corbin.
yeah. Before I say I hate to do it to him, but I'm gonna just touch it that way, and I'm gonna move to your guy, Human Monies, Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio.
I didn't like that match at all.
I knew you wouldn't, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, you took the two of the most overest people in the company, stuck them together, and you didn't get what you thought you was gonna get. Even for a comedy match, it was like Danhausen's been in ESPN, been every fucking where. And fans kind of were behind it. The fans were behind it a little more because they were behind it. It was it was it was a I forgot where it fall because I wrote it out of order. So that's kind of where I'm hiccuping that a little bit. But just me watching the match, yeah, it was a Danhausen match. Fans kind of were behind Danhausen, but the Dominic Mysterio, it was, yeah, no, not
You
Danhausen's
know,
finest move,
the
finest
mini
match. You know,
housings and JD. Yeah, and then they were like, it's real human monies, but then when he pulls it out, you can see it's all gimmick money. It's not real. You know,
Mhm.
it's all like colored Monopoly money. It's just like this was such a dumb match. I'm sorry. Like I like Danhausen as like comic relief and the you are cursed thing. That's cool, but it's starting to get a little stale with me. And him wrestling, he's not a very good worker. He never has been. He's okay. Um so he's like he's a side act. He's a comic relief, and that's great. But the whole cloning machine thing, I was always saying like, like when he brought the cloning machine out and he had the mini housings and then he puts them back in. I said what they should have did was put the mini housings back in, then reclone it, and then it comes out as one big huge 7-footer. Get some big buff independent wrestlers like 7 feet tall to come out, and he's like a giant housing and comes out, something like that. That would have been kind of cool, but they're overusing these dwarf wrestlers. One of them's from AAA, I believe. They were mentioning his name, and I can't remember what it was, but he was
El Torito. He was El
El Torito.
Torito.
That's it. Yeah, and he was doing some pretty dope moves, like the Hurricane Ranas he did on JD. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. These aren't just some normal, little people that came in, put on makeup, and get tossed around. This dude was actually giving them the business, and so that kind of perked the match up a little bit. I think he's a better worker than Danhausen is, So yeah,
Oh
I
man,
don't know. It was dumb. It was a dumb match. Throwing
El
the
Torito.
money, the fake money out, and all that bullshit. I was like, eh.
El
I wish I
Torito.
Sorry, real quick. I wish I slept during that match and not the Baron Corbin. And you know what I'm saying? If I was going to fall asleep during a match, I'd have rather fell asleep during that match. But anyway, what were you saying
Man.
about El Dorito?
Torito. No, I was saying they did that. Well, the El Torito part, he saw him wrestle for years, and then the cat, Carl Anthony Towns was his big housing. His
Yeah.
big housing moment was Carl Anthony Towns when he came out when he was in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, but
And
he should have been wearing Danhausen makeup. That would have made it all the best. It'd have been like,
yeah, I
okay,
think
perfect.
yeah,
Anyway,
I think so. I think so too. And now we get to the final match: Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. I'm gonna let you take off and have this part because I want to hear this part.
so what's funny is, I was watching this whole PLE a little bit behind time. Did you just log out? Where'd you go? Oh, okay.
I'm still here.
Okay. He. So I've been really tired of Roman Reigns for a long time. Kind of tired of Seth Rollins, but I actually enjoyed this match and I was really into it. It was like you were like, "Hey, I already know the winner, so just log off and let's start the pod." And I'm like, no, I want to watch this match." I was like really into it. And it's the same old thing. Things they go out into the crowd and they're walk fighting, which I hate. I hate the walk fights. Like if you're gonna go out in the crowd, make it make sense. Don't just walk around punching each other and throwing each other into a couple railings and then hit a garbage can and then you're walking out and then you come back in the ring. I don't like those. I would rather like you go out in the crowd and you're fighting in the crowd and like you have some WWE people in a certain section where you could throw them into stuff to make it look like, oh man, he got thrown into the crowd, type of thing. Or maybe they clear out and he hits a bunch of chairs and the chairs fall over or something. But the walk fighting thing is just old and stupid, and I didn't like that. And then they do of course, they got to break the Spanish announce table for Seth, and then they break the American or the English announce table for Roman, and then Roman does the whole slow down and talk trash. He played high school football. I'm going to show y'all what he's about. This is what, the same thing Roman does every single time. But there was a lot of twists and turns. There was a lot of false counts. I did see the John Moxley shout outs they gave him during the match. But of course, they called him Dean Ambrose. They did his finishing move. And I'm not a John Moxley fan. I wasn't a Dean Ambrose fan either. I always thought he was the weak link in the Shield. And Seth came out with the white vest instead of the black vest, but you couldn't really see him with the white vest on because he had the jacket over it. And then by the time he takes the jacket off, they're doing a drone shot above him. So he's taking off the vest and you couldn't really see him in full with the full vest on with the jacket off. And he tries to hand it to Roman. Come on, for old time's sake, you want to do? And they get in the trash talking and all this stuff. And Roman Reigns won, and I see why he won, because he's quote unquote never beaten Seth in a one-on-one match, which isn't true. There's plenty of video evidence that shows he's beaten Seth in one-on-one matches before, but okay, for storytelling purposes, we'll go ahead and run with that. And he finally, quote unquote, beats him, and he retains. So it's kind of bittersweet. It's like, okay, he got his win over Seth. But then again, I'm like, here we go. Roman Reigns retains. We're going to have another long, drawn out, once every couple months, defends his title. Roman Reigns thing, it's just, it's like, it's old, it's stale, it's tired. I'm just tired. I'm tired of the bloodline. I'm tired. I'm glad they didn't come out. But besides my gripes, it was still a pretty well put together match. Besides the things I didn't like, it was still a good match. And I think the ref was out a little too long when he got knocked out. It's like, man,
Yeah, three spear. Well, yeah, 3 spears in total. Yeah, the last two Roman in the corner, kind of
yeah.
talking this up in the corner. I got that part.
What was
Hmm.
your thoughts on it?
uh initially your same thoughts, a little tired of it, but for different reasons. But I didn't question the match. I didn't question what was going to get put out there. That
Mm-hmm.
part I did not question. Now, my surprise would have been, Zilla Fatu helps Roman. That would have been my shocker,
Yeah,
just because everything he said, and now he's in the performance center. That'd have been my shocker.
yeah,
But the match itself, it's very much a Roman self match. But ever since WrestleMania 40, you started to see this thing with Roman, the cracks in the armor versus Self, and Self's needling him since 40.
mm-hmm.
And it's been a constant thing since then. So that part of it was something I took into account. But the match went kind of how it went, even though the callbacks to Dean Ambrose were like, yeah, y'all got backlash from that shit because y'all literally tried to damn erase that man out of the damn shield. And we all know he existed. So them two doing the callbacks for him was like, yeah,
Even
bad
Michael
choice.
Cole said, "Hello, Dean Ambrose."
Yeah, so that was a mistake that needed to be rectified ASAP. Like their shield wasn't just them two fuckers.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, real
Ro-
quick before you get into the rest of it, they talk about the chair shot, right? That Seth gave and how that forever changed their whole trajectory. One thing that WWE is really blatantly leaving out, which annoys the shit out of me, is when they reunited as the Shield just before Dean Ambrose left to join AEW. They reunited for like 3 months and was doing Shield stuff, and they were selling merchandise, and they're doing the fists, and they had they had made up.
well,
Seth and Roman had made up. They don't talk about it. They don't. It's like it never existed. It's like chair shot, and now they hate each other, and it's like, really, come on, man. Like, you're not gonna even talk about, like, they could have said something like, yeah, they tried to reunite, but backstage infighting between Seth and Roman caused Dean Ambrose to leave the company, or so, something like that, to where now we're here, blah blah blah. They could have gave some kind of explanation, but they didn't, and it
I
annoyed me.
I think I have an answer for that.
Okay.
You remember when he turned on him again after the cancer diagnosis?
No.
After Roman announced the cancer, what does he do to Dean Ambrose? I think that whole period of time they kind of left out for the whole cancer diagnosis because they still haven't brought that up. Because remember, Roman says he's just Joe by himself, and he announces the cancer, gives up the Universal title, and then that same night, if I'm not mistaken, Seth turns on Dean that same night.
Okay.
So that part, I think they leave that out because it's only been mentioned. It was only mentioned when Vince was still there because Triple H mentioned it. Like, yeah, when your partner, you turned on your partner after your other brother announces cancer research, cancer thing.
Mhm.
I think they leave that part out because I think they just leave the whole cancer thing out. I think that's the
Yeah.
part of it that they just don't want to touch.
Right.
Because
Right.
that part was the polarizing. The first one was polarizing, but the second one was even worse because it was like, you did this shit. Who the fuck
Yeah.
playing this shit after Roman says he had to disappear for cancer?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's the more logical reason. If I got to come up with a reason, that's the only reason I got for it.
Right. Got you. Got you.
So that part is the part they leave out because you're absolutely right. Because Dean Ambrose went to become Dean Ambrose. They were all split. And at the time, what brought them back together? Who were they? Was it the Wyatt family?
I can't remember.
It was the what? No, it was because he turned heel when the evolution thing, because it's always a plan B. So that was the first heel turn. So the second time they got back together, I don't remember. Was it the? It wasn't the corporation. Was it the corporation? It might have been the corporation. It might have been. But when they got back together, that was the second time, and then he won the Universal title, and then he went out for cancer. So my
Yeah.
timeline might be a little bit off, but I believe that's what happened.
Well, I remember Ambrose's last night in WWE. They were the Shield, and they had a big tearful goodbye. They all three hugged and did the fist thing one last time. And so the last time they got together was, I think it was a farewell tour of the Shield. And so, but I remember when Ambrose did the whole, "Oh, you people," he turned heel and said, "Oh, you people are all a bunch of germs." He started wearing a gas mask. I don't know if you remember that part.
Oh, they
It
try
was,
to make him. They try to make him Bane.
or like a germaphobe. He's like, "You guys all have germs." He's
This
like,
is
"Oh,
they try
you're
to make.
disgusting."
They try to make him a low. They try to make him a low budget Bane because he had the same Bane jacket on short. They try to make him a low
Yeah,
budget Bane. I never forget. Yeah, they try to make him a low budget Bane.
yeah. So there was
That part
that,
too.
but they got together after that, and I think Ambrose's contract was about to expire, especially after that run he just had. I think he had enough. He was like, "This is fucking stupid. I'm not doing this." And so he told Vince he wasn't going to renew his contract, and so that they gave him a good, nice farewell tour. But they don't talk about that. All they talk about is the chair shot from 12 years ago, and they act like that was it, and
The
like
only
when,
thing.
yeah, the only thing. And it's just like, doesn't make any sense. It's because, we were all there. We saw it. We saw what really happened. And like I said, they could have explained it better. They could have said, yeah, they tried to reunite because Ambrose, but there was just too much backstage infighting, and Roman just couldn't get past his anger towards Seth for what he, did to him, or something. They could have did something like that. So, but anyway, let's get back to the match. What was your thoughts besides what you were talking about? Was there anything else you wanted to add, or?
No, you kind of covered it because I actually stayed away from it a little bit on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed away from it on purpose because I knew you was on there, and I was like, let me see what you thought. I purposely kind of just watched it in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Purposely did it that way
Yeah.
because it was one of them things. I'm like, okay, let me see what's the psychology of the match. And
Roman did have the chair and was going to recreate the chair shot because Seth had his back turned. Well, at first, Roman had his back turned. Seth had the chair, and you could see Roman's looking up at the screen at the Jumbotron or whatever, and he could see Seth behind him. So he turns around, boom, punches Seth. Seth somehow they reverse. Seth is in the front, and then Roman has the chair, and like he's going to hit him, and then he throws the chair down. He's like, "I'm not going to do that. I'm going to whoop
it's
your ass
actually
without."
I saw that part, and it's a callback to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Because the chair shot he was going to give him, and Seth in reverse, when he had Seth down, you see Seth on the middle rope, and he's looking up at the screen, and he's kind of gauging where Roman is, and Roman
Mm-hmm.
stalls it, looks at the chair, and then he catches him with a stomp on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So the reverse happened. The reverse happened tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Roman doing that same thing, and I was like, okay, whatever they're timing, they're trying to time it up just right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that part, but overall, match wasn't good. But overall, what'd you think of SummerSlam? Before we head up out of here, what'd you think about SummerSlam?
Not my favorite SummerSlam. It had its moments. There was what was it? Bleacher Report gave it an overall C minus grade, but yet when you look at the individual matches, there was on night one there was what was it, 4 Bs and 2 C minus, and then so they gave it a C minus average, which didn't make any sense at all. And then same with tonight, it was the same thing. There was like a couple rotten matches, but most of them were all good, but they still gave it a C, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. For WWE standards in the past, this was not the best SummerSlam. I feel that TKO needs to let WWE just cook. Just stay out of it. Just be stop trying to put, like if you want to put your hands in UFC and all that stuff, then fine, go ahead, do that. You and Dana White can work that out. But WWE just needs to be left alone and let WWE cook, because I don't know if you remember, but right at the sale when Vince was had turned, the whole thing with Janelle Grant came out, Vince had to step down and quote unquote retired, and Triple H took over when it was just WWE. Man, he was cooking, and there was some of the best wrestling I had seen in years on WWE. It was amazing. But then TKO has just been slowly just throwing their hand in there and making them do these things. I don't know. And so the product just hasn't been good overall. And so this was not my favorite SummerSlam, but I'm going to give it overall for both nights. I'll give it a B minus. So, yeah. What about you? What was your thoughts?
I'm somewhere near B. I have to take individual matches into account, and Randy coming back, KO coming back, raised it for me to that point. Some of the matches I thought were gonna be what I thought. The Fatal 4-Way, Kevin Owens, that part was just like, okay, and that actually worked. Surprisingly, the women's Fatal 4-Way seemingly worked. They made it work itself out a little bit. But shock value, even Randy's RKO, like, wasn't an RKO, like, it just, and I've rarely ever said this about an RKO, like, but it was one of the ones I'm like, oh hell no, come on, Randy, that ain't even the one, that ain't your top 10 RKO for some shit like this.
Right.
But overall, like, I'm averaging about a B of it though, just because it I was excited, but moments made me excited.
Sure. Yeah.
The Nick Aldis thing. Okay, cool. I like this.
Yeah.
Randy, KO, cool. I like it. Even Chelsea Green went it. I was just like,
Yeah.
the Chelsea Green one was like,
yeah,
I like that.
And the Oba Femi match was one of my favorites too. So
Oba and Brock, I was damn near never worried about.
Yeah.
They was gonna have to fuck that match up. Oba and Brock can call it. This is the reason why I was never worried about. Brock can call that bitch in the ring, and Brock's gonna be Brock. What are you gonna do to him?
Yeah.
That's a Brock, Paul Heyman, and Oba Femi thing. Y'all stay the fuck out of this. We got this. And we will do our thing, and in which they did. Other than that, disappointing. Yeah, we're gonna have to have a conversation about Danhausen. In fact, Danhausen versus Leo Rush. Danhausen versus Leo Rush. It's gonna have to be a conversation.
Is that a fantasy booking?
Oh, Leo Rush
said it's okay.
Hey, Leo Rush is doing his thing, and it's borderline Danhausen. He just don't have ESPN. But I would argue, hey, Leo Rush and his interest music is fire. By the way, go listen to it on YouTube. Leo Rush. It's always been me. That's a plug for you, Leo Rush. But yeah, we're gonna have to have that conversation. But overall, though, the Danhausen thing, the WW TKO thing, to me, what you're saying is like, yeah, we're starting to have this conversation too frequently.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
really starting to have this conversation way too frequently
Yeah.
because you can
Should
put
we?
promotion, you can put promotions and promos. I have no problem with you promotions and paying your sponsors. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
I do. Mm.
But it's also product placement. It's when should this been a 2 night event? I would argue okay, you could do a 2 night event, but I
Maybe
would
in a
argue
smaller
that
venue.
smaller venue maybe, and I would also argue this. If you're gonna do a 2 night event, then cut down the sponsorships. Remember when old NXT Gold was good and they would throw
Yes.
NXT matches in these things?
Yeah. Yeah. Or they would do a
Yeah,
whole NXT pay per view the day before a big pay per view, and it would make me want to watch.
yeah.
NXT's terrible now. I can't. I try to watch it, and I love Shawn Michaels, but oh God, it's so bad. It's just as bad as AEW as far as I'm concerned.
No,
Um,
I think NXT's problem is this. They're trying to build the stars internally, whereas old NXT would always have people coming from indies
yeah,
that would make the brand.
sure,
That's how you
sure,
get a Kevin Owens and everybody else down the
sure.
line because you always had that indie star. Like now you got like Mike Santana. We'll get it. Like Mike
Yeah,
Santana, I'm happy to see him in NXT, but I'm like, okay, cool. But
yeah,
overall, that part is the TKO part. But the TKO problem, as wrestling fans see it, I think that needs to be a conversation we need to have. We definitely got to rant that out a little bit because it's starting. I had a whole segment planned for you later on about that. You're gonna get your TKO rant. You're gonna get your rant time for that shit. Tune in for that because Soul is gonna rant about TKO, too much involvement, a 3 hour pay per view only being an hour worth of wrestling, hour and a half or hour worth of wrestling. Y'all stay tuned to that. Get your popcorn ready because I know Soul got some shit written down. He already done told me. Stay
I'm
tuned to that
ready.
shit.
Yeah, facts.
But Soul, man, it was a pleasure doing this shit with you, brother. Hey, man,
You
we've been
too.
texting all weekend about damn SummerSlam, man. Your 13 years sobriety, my brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. Congratulations, brother. Stay focused, stay on. Hey, I got to see another year. Happy birthday to me. Everybody who in the chat, thank y'all for joining in. Greeny, man, shoot your love, brother. I know you had to go. Hey, man, we'll be back again August. We'll be back again, not this Saturday, back on our regular time. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, unless some wrestling pops off, and then in which case, hey, you never know with us because we might pop up and be like, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, I
And
would.
we'll,
On a real side note, I wanted to do it live, like a live reaction. My roommate was watching TV downstairs, and I don't have streaming on my TV up here in my studio, so I had to watch it on my phone, so I couldn't really jump off. But maybe on the next one we'll be able to do that. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
yeah, we're definitely going to do a live stream. That's coming. I'm not even going to sit here and act like it's mine. We're going to do a live reaction because that shit, especially when we get to the deeper months, especially we make it around to like WrestleManias. War Games is coming down the path somewhere. I gotta go look at the calendar, see what Survivor Series War Games is off the top of my head. But we
That's
might
the
have to
next. That's the next one. That's the next PLE. It's in Houston.
ooh.
So
Stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna have to put something together for y'all. We're gonna see if we can get this thing together because we want to see War Games is a one-off. It's a PLE, but it's a one-off, so you get a lot of crazy shit happening.
yeah,
Hopefully,
hopefully.
hopefully. But other than that, Soul, man, anything I left, man, before we head up out of here, my brother?
Oh yeah, I got an album coming out in August called To Be Determined, produced by me. It's a little self plug. And past 4 weeks I got cast in a independent movie called Tomorrow's for the Living. I play a cartel goon and I get some dialogue and I shot some really good scenes. And so I don't know exactly when that's coming out, but man, the productivity's been through the roof. I was at the barbecue today, and they said, "Man, Soul, is there anything you don't do? You do a podcast, you do music, you produce people, and you're shooting a movie. Oh my gosh, is there anything you don't do?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't fly, not yet." Anyway. But
All
yeah,
right, then.
I'm looking forward to the next episode, man.
Yeah, man, we're gonna definitely because this is the catalyst to start WrestleMania off. Well, even though they say other things are, but this one starts this. Let's see what we get to. And then somewhere down the line, Seb, you ain't probably didn't left the chat, but somewhere down the line, I need to get to y'all coast.
Yep, for sure. Green,
Green,
I feel you. The old WCW War Games, Dusty Rhodes, rest in peace. He invented that. Anyway, but yeah,
we'll definitely catch up, man. I'm gonna get to the West Coast. We gonna might hey, I gotta get to the West Coast so we can do some live casts with both podcasts, all purpose and wrestling bros.
yeah, let's do it. Can combine it
Uh,
all into one, a 4-hour extravaganza.
oh Lord, boy, 4 hours of chaos. For Brother Soul the Interrogator, I am Phantom. And thank y'all for joining us. Join us every other Saturday, or if you're a wrestling fan, you know how it goes. When it's big, we always there, regardless. We somewhere around. Facebook, follow us on Facebook. We launched the Instagram. We coming, y'all. Follow the Wrestler Bulls podcast on Facebook. Join us on live. And for Soul the Interrogator, I'm gone. I'm Phantom Duck Hook. Soul, hit the music.
Word.
Produced by Soul the Interrogator. Hit
That's
the
right.
music. And I
Let's
think we got
go.
one of the best intro music in wrestling podcasts.
That's
Come
right.
with it.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, making their way to the ring, they are the Undisputed Tag Team Podcasting